to the 5. So Rezwan Firdaus was arrested Wednesday after undercover agents delivered a package he thought was filled with guns and bombs. Nice beard. He had planned to blow up the Pentagon and the U.S. Capitol using remote-controlled airplanes filled with explosives. Now the fun part. Although Firdaus had planned his jihad against America, whom he calls enemies of Allah, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Massachusetts still felt compelled to say, quote, "I want the public to understand that Mr. Firdaus's conduct is not reflective of a particular culture, community, or religion." Of course it wasn't. I guess his jihad was caused by poor self-esteem. Maybe he didn't get a goat for his 6th birthday. Or perhaps he's just distraught that Entourage is over. I am. But the PC weirdness gets even weirder. A new online journalism course suggests reporters put Islamic terror in context, watering down the threat by pointing out that diseases are actually deadlier. Never mind that diseases can't fly planes into buildings. Still, journalists are being taught to overlook that distinction by other journalists. The Poynter Institute tried to explain its course thusly: "We believe there is a need to better understand the complexities of Muslim societies." Ah, yes, to better understand the complexities. I think that's code for don't offend them, please. But maybe I'm dumb and should take the course. It's online, so I could do it in my Star Wars pajamas.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
I love those.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, Kimberly, did the U.S. Attorney really need to make that comment that the terror threat is not reflective of a religion or culture?
Does that sound like it makes any sense to anyone in the Terror 101 primer? It makes absolutely no sense. It's actually counterproductive and doesn't show that he has true understanding of what, in fact, we are doing in trying to combat terror.
It's almost like they're trying to convince others, other Muslims, to say, no, really, it's really not about you.
Yeah.
It's about it's about me. It's not about you. And there's nothing to see here. And they also said nobody was ever in any danger. He's such a dum-dum. You don't have to worry about it. But you know, it's going to take just one time for one of these dum-dums to figure it out, and then we're going to have problems. And then the Poynter Institute might have a different class.
Yeah. It's like the government is like a guy trying to dump a girl. It's like it's not you.
How is Firdaus homegrown terrorist? I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm still calling him homegrown. Why? Because he lived in Connecticut or wherever he did? Is it, so that's what we're, I mean, right? Am I missing this?
I thought homegrown meant something else, right, Bob?
My point is, if someone comes over, gets U.S. citizenship, and all of a sudden decides to have a jihad against America, they would be considered homegrown. How is that?
Because they're radicalized while they're U.S. citizen and present here in this country.
Here for a second?
That'll be a surprise,
That's
Bob.
a surprise. I'm glad that the Attorney General, or wherever he was, prosecutor, did say that, because I think we are in the process here of teaching through our language of political leaders and others to dislike Muslims for young people.
Where are you seeing this, Bob?
Have you had anything positive said about Muslims?
People go out of their way.
There are school districts in Texas that were trying to
avoid backlash.
Let's be honest with ourselves. If we talk about Muslims, we tend to lump them all together into jihadists and
No, we do not.
Oh, we don't.
Who's done that?
Okay, then
Who's doing that?
Who's doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, I like you also.
Don't look around this table.
But the problem is that this is a journalism class.
When was the last time I heard anybody just say something positive about Muslims?
But see, this is a journalism class.
I know we have tape of it.
And in journalism, you don't
That's the guy that cleans your shoes you were talking about.
I'm going to make this point, whether you like it or not. In journalism, you report
That's
stories.
That's you after hours. You're recession-proof.
That are news.
Right.
Okay? It is not newsworthy to say that 1,000 Christians went to school today and they all ate lunch and then they came home and did their homework. That's not the news.
Right.
The news, and this is what the Poynter Institute is supposed to be teaching journalists to cover, is that we did have a homegrown terrorist who said that Allah was the reason he was trying to blow up American citizens. Right. That's what the news is.
What is wrong with by saying, however,
let's be You're being a wuss when you do it.
You're being a wuss to try to protect 100 billion people around the world?
No, it just shows, it shows you you have a fear that arresting a terrorist looks Islamophobic. You're arresting a terrorist.
So
That's not Islamophobic.
I'd like to have you all come up with. I want to see how much commentary there's been that's pro.
But why would? But again, like we don't do pro commentary about any other group. Why would you do pro commentary about Muslims.
Jesuits.
I have a great deal of faith about Jesuit Catholics. I was out with one the other
we
night.
haven't done that segment either. We haven't done how great the Jesuits are and what a great education they provided. Three of us.
You don't think, come on, let's be honest with ourselves. The Muslims have taken a hit since 9/11.
Because, you know,
America took a hit on
Hold
9/11.
on, time out.
Whose side are you on?
Hold on, guys. Radical Muslims took a hit because guess what? 19 hijackers, all 19 were Muslim.
Okay, I understand that, but the indictment of all Muslims is a tendency of saying
Nobody's doing that.
you got it. Well, I think it's, and the only other thing I will say is that it is true that malaria kills a lot more people than terrorists do.
There are millions of law-abiding Muslims that were offended and outraged by what happened here.
I know, more people die slipping in bathtubs, but that's not the point. A bathtub isn't coming after you. Some of them aren't. Anyway, sometimes I dream of that. All right, coming up. Terrible dreams about bathtubs. Hollywood plays politics. I always love it when silly people try to play smart. Talking about me, I guess. That's next on The Five.
I resemble